Is Duel Links dead? I think Duel Links is dead. Some of you might know that my channel started out as a Duel Links FTK channel, and I actually was qualified for like World Championship qualifiers once. I have no idea how I got this mad, but I once did well in a KC Cup, I think. No idea. Anyway, I played Duel Links quite much, and I had quite much fun playing Duel Links, but at some point it just got stale, and it's not really worth playing Duel Links as well, just because if you want to spend money on a game, then Master Duel is just way better, or even the IRL cards are better, unless you live in a country where you can't really have access to those cards. But Duel Links is not a good game, and I think people are starting to realize that. The player count is dwindling kinda, and people are not really making videos about Duel Links as well. Like when Master Duel got released, every Duel Links creator just jumped onto the Master Duel train, with some exceptions of like really small Duel Links creators. Like, congrats, you still made Duel Links videos every single week, but people wanted to see the Master Duel videos, and me myself, I jumped onto that train as well. I made Master Duel videos, and I thought, yeah, I'll quit the Duel Links videos, because Master Duel is it's just way easier to get new cards, it's way easier to make content, it's way more exciting, because you can actually make like videos about whole matches where you play with 8,000 life points, where you can actually make combos, and not just, oh man, I got a deck that's good at setting 2 cards, and I can maybe make a Link 2. Hey, Links got released in Duel Links. Is Duel Links still relevant? Like, it's weird. You could make a Code Talker, Brave, Salamangrade combo video in Master Duel, and in Duel Links you could do a, yeah, you know, we can play Salamangrade too. We got a really small card pool, but the deck is good because other good decks haven't been released yet. Haha. It's weird, and Duel Links is just power creeping all of their cards as well. Like, I personally spent some money on the game as well, just because I had some stuff, some credit on my Steam wallet, and I bought the Drag Unity starter deck, for example. And for the time when I bought it, it was really good, but I was missing some ultra rare cards, and in Duel Links, getting ultra rare cards means you have to spend money. Let's be honest. If you want to get a 3-off from a main box, by the time that it's still playable, you have to spend money on the game. And I did not, because I always said, proud free-to-player, I just got the structure deck because there was no other way to get it, because you can only get it once by being a free-to-play, and I actually wanted to play Drag Unity. And then they nerfed the skill that the deck was using. Access denied. It was really, really good at one point, and then it was just not really playable, to be honest. Like, right now I think it's playable after turn 7, and that's just nice, I guess. I can play it in Marik decks where I can stall with Lava Golem. Oh wait, Lava Golem's effect damage has been halved for some reason, because that deck was so oppressive or whatever. It's so weird. Yeah, I don't want to ramble too much on how I don't like Duel Links anymore, but I had good times with Duel Links. I played on one account, I played since release actually, since the very, very first box, and I had like 2 Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon or whatever from the second box, and those were a really, really good thing at one point. I know, it's hard to imagine. And then, for example, Dark Side of Dimensions Kyber just had them as a skill, where he could just for free add even better versions of the Blue Eyes fusions to his extra deck, and he could add a poly from outside of the deck to his hand or whatever. And my 2 ultra rares from a completely unusable main box got just even more unusable, even though they weren't usable much before that. And yeah, I don't know. If you are still playing Duel Links, I hope that you haven't spent too much money on the game. I cannot recommend you to spend any money on the game. If you want to spend money on games, then spend it on Master Duel or spend it on the real cards, because the real cards aren't that expensive as well. Like I got some decks that are really, really cheap and that are still really, really competitive. Numeron is very, very, very cheap if you want to build a Numeron deck. I know some countries don't have access to real Yu-Gi-Oh cards that much, but most countries still have access to English Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and it's sadly sometimes still cheaper than playing Duel Links, because Duel Links is not cheap, especially with how fast the meta changes. I know I can't really argue with this, but for example, look how long Shadows stayed relevant. I know that they are not that good anymore, but Shadows stayed relevant for such a long time. You can still play Invoked if you wanted to. Branded is really, really cheap, and it's still playable, and it continuously gets support. There are so many cheap decks that you can play in the TCG as well, and I don't understand why you would say, okay, let's spend, I think it's $6 the first time you buy a structure deck in Duel Links, and then $10 or something, and grinding for gems just takes so long. Like you, not legal advice, but I know some people that are botting the game to get gems easier. I cannot recommend this, but it's something that people are doing because getting gems is really, really hard in Duel Links. I know, not legal advice again. I know some people that are buying accounts on Master Duel because getting gems in Master Duel is not that easy as well, but it's way easier than getting them in Duel Links. And you can convert cards in Master Duel. You can't do that in Duel Links. That's so sad. Like in Duel Links, you can spend, unironically, you can spend real life money on a card, and then you can't even convert it. It's so dumb. And the cards you're getting, you're not even buying a structure deck that will stay relevant, because there are no structure decks that really stay relevant. Ancient Gear structure deck. Oh yeah, they got new support in Duel Links, and they are still unplayable. The really old structure decks, like the Magicians, whatever. I can't even remember what was in there. I only know it had a level 5 normal monster or something like that as its boss monster. Completely unplayable. Drag Unity, completely unplayable. Red Eyes was playable a long time ago. And now it's only there to be kind of a weird OTK deck. Yeah, I don't know. Really play something else, and I think Duel Links is a dead game. I'll see you in the next video.